can always send in messages if you have questions for our guest this evening. It is time for the office right here on 91.3. Like I said earlier on, our guest this evening is Mr. Olumuyiwa. But of course, you know that the office is proudly brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria and Lagos Talks 91.3. Now, Olumuyiwa Akinrole Oludayo, he's a research fellow at CIPM. Like I also said, he is an organizational management professional with experience in higher education, FMCG, technology, financial services, and public service sectors. He has supported projects in various functions, including, but not limited to, human resources, leadership development, change management, learning and development, strategy, and organizational management. Without further ado, I mean, this is a robust profile. Let me just invite our guest this evening. Mr. Oludayo, are you there with us?
Yes, I am here with you. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. I hope you're doing well, and compliments of the season.
Yeah, same to you. It's for us in HR, we're rounding up for the year. We're trying to we're looking forward to easing out all of the stresses that we've seen this year.
Please.
Hoping that we can have some time to pull our feet up, watch Amazon Prime, watch any movie we can watch and just chill out.
Please, right? HR, help us. You need to set those bags of rice rolling, and what else? The gifts and the 13th month and everything.
It's coming your way. Look right behind you. You find your bag on the floor right there.
Okay, fantastic. Good to have you join us, sir. It's been a fantastic year, and I know that we have a lot of things to catch up on within the space of now and the actual end of the year. Once again, you're welcome. And this evening, we will be talking about the fundamentals of HR functions. And you mentioned a few things. I'm looking forward to other things that, come together to form HR functions. So let's push the question across to you, sir. What is the origin of the HR profession? Where did it start from?
Oh, well, I mean, if we look at the origin of HR, I think the first seed of HR really was sown in the 20th century when a number of people, we call them employment clerks then, they emerged to seek daily help, primarily in factories. So it was more of when the Industrial Revolution came in, and then there were helps that were required in the factories. And the real genesis was really around the World War I, a sharp spike in the demand of industrial output, the loss of workers to war efforts, and that led to a very severe labor shortage. And I mean, from then on, focus on people and the value they bring to work started to rise. Before now, it wasn't really catered for, it wasn't really planned or prepared for. It was just done haphazardly. But from that moment, it became something to really pay attention to. So take it back to the time of World War I, that was when we really started to think around the issues of HR.
Interesting. So, I mean, it brings to mind what the value chain of the HR function is. Who starts off with the value progression and who passes the baton to who? Who collects it? How is it like? What's the value chain like as far as HR functions are concerned?
Right. When we talk about HR value chain, really the goal is, what does HR bring to the table? And for many people who practice HR, the goal will always be for them will be to, how do we really talk about the impact that HR brings to the table? And one critical impact, one way we can discuss this is to look at it from three perspectives. Let's look at it from HR activities themselves, the activities of HR, what does HR do? And then that links us to what does HR achieve, talking about HR outcomes. And then what impact, that is, how does HR enable organizations to achieve their goals? And so when you talk about the work of HR, the goal there is efficiency. Do we do workforce planning very well? How do we do recruitment and selection? How do we talk about total rewards, that is compensation and benefits? industrial relations, or what we call employee relations. We talk about talent management, coaching, objective, organization design and development. All of those activities, HR performs all of those activities. And in performing them, the idea is that it must lead to certain outcomes. And those outcomes will now be things around improved employee engagement, reduced absenteeism, reduced turnover, a satisfied workforce, some kind of improved performances of people in the organization, readiness of people for higher roles, and readiness for people for bigger functions, right? Now, those are the outcomes. The activities, on the one hand, for the HR value chain would be what HR does, which is the workforce planning, recruitment, talent management, industrial relations, and then what it achieves: employee engagement, improved performance, well-being of the people, a great work culture, not reduce absenteeism, and all of that, communication, engagement, and all that. Now, the third level will now be the impact that these outcomes bring to the organization. And that's what we call it the value. You can't just do work that doesn't have outcomes. You must ensure that the work you do as HR delivers some outcomes and ultimately achieves organization's objectives. And so organization wants to make profit. Organization wants to increase their market share. Organization wants to increase their market value. Organization wants to increase their brand reputation. Organization wants to improve our productivity. So HR then must be able to link her own outcomes. What does a reduced turnover do for the organization? It allows the organization to be stable. So stability of the workforce, which is an objective of the organization, becomes the value that HR brings to the table. And it is done maybe by workforce planning or proper recruitment. And so you see the chain. I do a recruitment, I've done recruitment well, I've done my workforce planning well, and then I realize that there's improved performance, there's reduced absenteeism, there's reduced turnover, and ultimately my organization is having stability of our workforce, there's readiness of our people, the expansion projects she has, there are always people to man the new places that she has divested to. And so when you think about HR value chain, think about how efficient are our processes, how effective are they, and what impact they are bringing to the organization.
So I'm curious now. So you spoke about output, productivity, and all of that. So are we trying to say that if an organization is failing, productivity is low, profitability is low, and all whatnot, negatives here and there, would you say we can attribute all of these to the effectiveness of its HR department?
Well, the HR department is a custodian of the culture of the people. And the culture of the people is expressed in the daily things they do in their several departments. And so HR, being that culture custodian, has a responsibility to ensure that the people stay true to the values and the ethos of the organization. If they do stay true to the value and the ethos of the organization, chances are that the organization will achieve our objectives. But if the people depart from what they call the true fabric of the organization, chances are that it will lose. And when people begin to lose in terms of culture, strategy would not, whatever strategy you have for business performance will not produce, right? It will not produce. And so there's a goal. The goal here is to ensure that HR holds departments accountable for the delivery of value. HR is not responsible for delivering the value across all the functional areas of the business, but HR ensures that all those who have such responsibilities are doing it. So you can call HR the consultant to the business. You can call HR the encourager in chief to the business. You can call HR the supporter, the credible activist. You can call HR the facilitator of success for all of those people. And if HR ignores her role, it will definitely show, because people will be slothful in the things that they do, and ultimately it will impact on their delivery at work.
Okay, you're listening to The Office this evening on Lagos Talks 91.3. Very powerful conversation I'm having with Olumuyiwa Oludayo, PhD. He's a research fellow, CIPM. We'll go for a quick break, and then when I come back, I want to ask him a question on how newbies can get into this profession, and also if you twisty questions along the line. You're listening to The Office, proudly brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria and Lagos Talks 91.3. My name is Kola Wole. Quick break, and I'll be right back.
It's Live Drive. Sure. I don't find my head. I'm ready. So far on me, finally. Don't find me. That's 8 times the value of every recharge, plus 1,000 Naira sign-up bonus and double data with Airtel over Jara when you buy and activate a new cell. Airtel, a reason to imagine. This holiday season just got a whole lot merrier. Lagos, get ready for 12 days of Christmas giveaway.
Brought to you by MTN and Sparkle.
And your #1 talk radio station, Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. It's the season of giving, and we want to make your Christmas extra special. So tune in to Lagos Talks 91.3 FM every day from the 13th of December to the 25th of December 2023 as we unwrap amazing surprises and reward our lovely listeners with fantastic gift items. Participating is as easy as singing your favorite Christmas songs. Stay glued to Lagos Talks 91.3 FM and follow our social media handles, and you could be the lucky winner of the day. Don't forget, the 12 days of Christmas giveaway kicks off on the 13th of December, so mark your calendars and get ready to unwrap the magic with Lagos 91.3 FM.
MTN and Sparkle.
Join the conversation on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. Sure. I don't find my head. I'm ready. So far on me, finally. Don't find me. That's 8 times the value of every recharge, plus 1,000 Naira sign-up bonus and double data with Airtel over Jara when you buy and activate a new cell. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Ho, ho, ho! This December, it's a holiday homecoming at Ebony Life Place.
It's the most wonderful.
Gather your loved ones and let the festivities begin. Receive the gift of free cocktails for you and mocktails for the kids at Turaka Rooftop Restaurant. Indulge in a free slice of Christmas cake at the Ginger Restaurant. Enjoy movie packages at special prices at Ebony Life Cinema. And jingle all the way to an all-exclusive getaway at the White Orchid Hotel. For more information, visit Ebony Life Place on Instagram or call 0906 800 006 or call 0906 800 0006. Book now and experience the joy of this holidays at Ebony Life Place. There's no place like home.
Sure. I don't find my head. I'm ready. So far on me, finally. Don't find me. That's 8 times the value of every recharge, plus 1,000 Naira sign-up bonus and double data with Airtel over Jara when you buy and activate a new cell. Airtel, a reason to imagine. Biggest conversation on Lagos Talks.
Okay, welcome back. You're listening to The Office here on Lagos Talks 91.3. And before we went on that break, we were, of course, having a conversation with Dr. Oludayo this evening. And it's all about HR functions right here. Okay, so, Doctor, quick one.
Yes.
If we are to, introduce newbies into this profession, what would you say are the skills required, or what are the steps newbies should be thinking about taking if they intend to come into this profession?
All right. I think it's pretty much straightforward. It's just based on 2 prongs, really. The first prong, you must become someone before you can do certain things. So that's what I call the being before the doing. You must become before you start to do. There is the being of the HR function, and that talks about the behavioral competencies or your behavioral dispositions you must have. Someone who's going to be a thoroughbred HR professional must be someone who's got leadership as a leader, as a trait that he can demonstrate very easily. Someone's going to be a HR professional, a top HR professional must be one who is able to demonstrate great communication, someone who's got a global mindset, somebody who's open to valuing people and relationships. Now, you've got to have a knack for all of those traits, first of all. And so you must have a behavioral, competencies that you must be able to demonstrate. And thereafter, then we now come to the doing, which is all of the functional areas of HR, talent management excellence, recruitment and selection, and all of that. But for someone who has never been to HR, where do you start from? Number one place you want to start from is the decision that you want to build a career in HR. You're not intending to just look for a job that you will ultimately drop at the end of the day. If there's pressure, you will drop it. If there are no opportunities, you drop it. No, you're making up your mind to go the long haul. So that's the first thing you want to do, making up your mind to build a career in HR. The second thing you now want to do is to take certifications. You've got to get credentials that allow you to be respected, credentials that allow you to show your abilities and your readiness to bring value to the table in the HR palettes. And so you've got to get maybe a bachelor's, and if you don't have a bachelor's degree, you could take a second degree. Some people have gone on to take professional certifications. Some people who are not having bachelor's degree or first degree or second degrees have come through CIPM, and they've come through CIPM to do a lot of examinations. So they've come through the examination route to get validated as HR professionals. So beyond getting a certification, another thing you want to do is to expand your network. Get to speak, get to start to talk to people in HR, get to be friends with people in HR so that you can know what's happening there. They will share opportunities with you. They'll bring you into opportunities to learn. They'll bring you into opportunities to collaborate. And all of those things help you to build a career in HR. Maybe one last thing will be volunteering. Volunteering for anything that is HR related, anything that has to do with recruitment, anything that has to do with interviewing, selection, anything that has to do with manpower planning, anything that has to do with organization design and development, anything that has to do with industrial relations and employee relations. You want to get yourself involved in it because it is the experience you have in the activities that you engage in that really tells the people that they can give you an opportunity to be a part of that profession. And so, one, get credentials. Two, get the attributes, what I call the behavioral competencies. Number three, you want to build a skill set. You want to acquire the skills by practice. And then number four, you want to really know the job. Know the job of HR. What do HR people do? Know the organizations you want to work in. Know about the industry you want to thrive in. And know your business environment. And then ultimately get involved. Maybe I should tell newbies that HR oftentimes looks like a simple task for those who just want to scratch the surface of HR. But HR is deep for the one who really wants to add value to the business. And so from day one, let everyone who wants to be in HR say, I want to assess my value by how I directly impact the business objectives. And so get a mentor, get someone who's ready to coach you and groom you on the journey towards career success, and do all of the things I just mentioned now. And then you find yourself thriving in that career.
Okay. Oh, so I just want to quickly, I mentioned a twist question along the way. Don't mind me. It's the way I do things sometimes. But 2023 now is seeing us have a situation where artificial intelligence is increasingly being integrated into, a lot of the things that we do. Including human resource management, recruitment, performance reviews, employee onboarding, and so on and so forth, employee engagement activity. Do you think it is going to replace the profession, or do you think it will be used perhaps as a tool to enhance output and productivity? What do you think about AI and human resource management as a profession?
Honestly, I believe every tool that enables human beings to do better is a welcome tool. Any technology, any system, any process, any procedure, anything at all that allows people bring more value to the table is welcome. Now, now here's a twist. Since we're using the word twist, Caller, since we're using the word twist. So here's a twist. The twist is people should not relinquish their human creativity to machines. There is the empathy that comes with the practice of the functions of HR that a machine will not do. A machine will be logical. A machine will work with data until we begin to see machines that, really will read emotions. And people have told me that they are right now. But in the day-to-day things that we do in HR right now, many of us are unable to use machine learning to read emotions, to show empathy, right? So I believe AI will come to improve the quality of the work that every HR professional brings to the table. AI will help us to refine our expressions. AI will help us to drill down into the details of things that we normally would miss by our own human standards and human errors. So I welcome it. I welcome AI, artificial intelligence. Just like it's artificial. It only rides on what people feed into it. And so as often as we feed into the systems, into our technology systems, we'll begin to draw more value from it. But it's welcome. It will help us in recruitment. It will help us in all of the elements of the HR value chain.
Even right now, you're using, I know about HR tools and enterprise software and all of that HR professionals use right now. So perhaps the next step is, inculcating artificial intelligence and not even, young professionals will want to be sure that they're getting into a profession that is going to, be relevant in the foreseeable future. So perhaps AI will be used as a tool instead of an option that could displace professionals in the foreseeable future, right?
Yeah, AI will be used. Trust me. Let me even say this to you, right? For example, let me ask you this. For example, we talk about workforce management. Let me give you a very critical example. Today, we call all the people, all the human beings in an organization, the workforce. But let me ask you, that dog that works with the NDLEA, that dog that works with the NDLEA, is it part of the workforce? Caller, you answer me.
Oh, well, I think so.
Yes, so that dog is part of the workforce. But who manages the dog today?
The trainer.
The trainer, but not the HR department. Because the HR department is called human resource and not dog resource. Now, there are robots that help in the factories that help to place packs, helps to, arrange all the products in the factory setting. Now, they are part of the workforce, aren't they?
True.
Who manages them? The engineer. Now, as we go on, and I like to tell everyone listening here, as we go on, human resources will expand to become workforce management, where workforce will now be a combination of people, machines, and other animals. And pardon me for using other animals. Workforce will change, so HR will change. And so you have a human resource manager who deals with people. But in a workforce structure of the organization, you will also have someone who deals with the animals. And so if you really want to be the future HR professional, you want to be the future workforce manager, you've got to really know right now how to manage animals. You've got to really know now how to speak to robots and talk to them. Nigeria today has a humanoid called Ofeimo that former Vice President Oshibajo unveiled just at the twilight of his tenure as VP of Nigeria. Today, if you go to National University of Singapore, you find the front desk officer there is a humanoid. And we will grow into it in Nigeria. We're not there yet. We're not near it yet, but we're getting there. Who will manage the performance of that humanoid? If you say it's not a human being, that means gradually, if the HR professional does not expand his mind to be able to talk to machines, design systems that machines can use, program KPIs for the machines, program responses for the machines, they would not be relevant. Because when the engineer can do what the human resource professional can do, he take his job. But when the human resource professional can do what the engineers can do, they extend the lifetime of their relevance.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I like the final part, and I think that's a bit of closure, perhaps for those who are thinking about joining this, very prestigious profession. But thank you, Dr. Olumuyiwa Akinrole Oludayo, for stopping by this evening on the office. Dr. Olumuyiwa is an organizational management professional with experience in higher education, FMCG, technology, financial services, and public service sectors. He has supported projects in various functions, including, but not limited to, human resources, leadership development, change management, learning and development, strategy, and organizational management. So thank you once again, Dr. Olumuyiwa, for
Pleasure.
our guest this evening. We look forward to having you at some other time. And you want to chip in what we should expect from the HR department nationwide? We as members of staff nationwide, we're demanding that we want a 14th month salary, if it's going to be possible.
Really?
Oh yes, we want.
I hereby, I mean, I've sent a memo to your head of HR. You hear from them.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you once again. We look forward to having you at some other time.
Thank you. Have a beautiful one. And compliments of the season. Merry Christmas in advance to everyone.
Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you. Okay, this is 91.3 Lagos Talks, and that's it for today on The Office. My name is Kolawole Faladu, and we do this on Thursdays from 4:30 till 5, right here on Lagos Talks 91.3. The Office is proudly brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, CIPM, and Lagos Talks 91.3. Up next, Zil will be joining me because we're about to go into critical thinking mode here on the live drive.
Have your say. Join the conversation on Lagos Talks 91.3.
It's my popcorn.
Look at that now. You see, there's no hold up.
22 million people and more finally have a voice on
Let's get talking from Nigeria's cultural melting pot. This is Lagos Talks 91.3.
Hi, my name is Folarunsho Alakija. I love listening to Lagos Talks 91.3. So let's get talking.
Democracy, the government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
In any election, there's going to be a winner and a loser. Those who win should show magnanimity, and those who lose should gracefully accept defeat.
According to the global norms, democracy is something that is looked very high up to and is considered a standard.
Democracy works, but we got